Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for those of you who are new to my budget reviews, I picked the Hemlock and Oak 2023 Daily Planner. I absolutely love this planner. It is extremely well built, handcrafted. It's just gorgeous, guys. I already got my 2024 edition ordered. I can't wait to see what the midnight version looks like. And if you haven't given them a go or you're just curious about the brand, feel free to check my description or the link down in the description. Sorry, guys, it's early. But, yeah, no, this company is really great. They make really good products. And yeah, so we're just going to get right into this review. I always like to share that. If you want to see a full flip through of what it looks like when it's brand new and not dirtied up, feel free to check out my previous video. But other than that, we're getting right into this. So I always love stopping and looking at this quote because this basically describes me on my budget journey, because this is gonna be a long one, guys. Not a video, just a long journey, because we're learning things on this. So Hemlock and Oak gives you this 2-year at a glance page here. They call it an overview. These are pages that I normally skipped in my planners, but I really wanted to use every piece of this planner. So what I did is I took my projected payoff dates, since I'm using the snowball method, and this was just a way for me to track to see if I was staying, if I was progressing along as I should be. So far everything is good. I've paid off more accounts this year than I thought was actually possible, so I am doing really good here. We've made it to the Discover account. It is going to take a little bit longer than the others just because of how large it was, but I did create a Detritus sheet. These are the Heidi Nash sheets. If you've seen them on Instagram, they're wonderful, and they do add like a playful feel to your, paying off debts and financial things. So yeah, I did get to add a couple blocks to this week, and I did get to add an extra bonus block. There's just something about getting closer to the next level that, like I said, like it adds a playful aspect to it, so it does kind of tweak you into paying more towards that debt. So, like I said, we're still on Discover. If it wasn't for this Tetris sheet right here, this probably, I would be bored out of my mind, with paying this thing off, because it just seems like it's never ending. But, at least with the whole Tetris, chart, that I could actually see, like, I am making progress, even though it feels like I'm getting nowhere. So, Hemlock and Oak gives you a year at a glance after those 2 pages. And at first, again, like, this was a page I really wouldn't have used in my previous budget planners, but I'm actually like really super in love with this page as well. It's kind of like a snapshot of what's been going on. Instead of having to go back through the monthlies, I could just look at it all here. So, of course, I highlighted all my paydays in green. The cards that I'm focusing on, those are in red, and if I was able to pay it off during that month, I did mark when I paid it off, so that's anything you see in red here. That's when an account bit the dust. Holidays are in purple, birthdays are blue. Large amounts of money in and out, yellow. The vehicle expenses, those wonderful driver's license, plate renewals, inspections. Even like if you do yearly maintenance on your vehicle, you could put that on here. It's just those weird expenses that come with vehicles that we know we're going to have to pay, but you just kind of put it in the back of your mind. I do like how I have those listed on here because it doesn't sneak up on me anymore. I'm pretty much waiting for it now. It's like, oh yeah, what do I get for my birthday? A driver's license renewal, yay. So, um, what else do I got on this page? I got so much on this page. Taxes, I put that on there. Credit score, I'm keeping track of how paying down my debts is affecting my credit score. So, I mean, like I said, I got a lot on here and I'm loving this page. And I will definitely be keeping track of this the same way in my, next year's planner. So that's something I've started this year. Okay, and then we move on to this important page. What's more important than knowing how much that you have to pay off when you are on a debt payoff journey? It's literally you need to know the amount. You can't estimate. It's a hard truth. It's probably the most unfun thing you could do when you're paying down your debts, but really knowing how much you owe helps you know, one, the path and the route that you need to take, and two, it kind of gives you an estimation of how long this is going to take. It may, you may be able to pay it off faster than what you guessed at the beginning, which is great. Or you may hit a road bump, or, may have to take a detour, and it's going to take longer. So, I mean, you always got to keep that in mind when you're doing these things. And this is probably the most strategic I've been with paying these off. So maybe that's what's helping me stay on track. I do have the original Detris. Um, Basically, all I just added up how much I paid towards my debts for each month at the end of the month. It was just easier. And then I just take this number and I divide it by the pieces, which you see isn't like a really even number. It was as close as I could get for this, but I just take it and color code them in, and we can see January and February I was rocking it. Things were going sweet. March was close, but March got a little bumpy, which then of course affected April, May, and June. So, well, in July too. So it's like in one way, like this is probably where I would have mentally beat myself up in the previous years because it's like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you doing this? But then at the same time, I'm able to like go back and reflect with this style of budgeting, of knowing like, hey, we know what happened during these months, and I kind of pushed it a little too far. Kind of like exercising. Like, of course, you get on your fitness journey and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you kind of overdo it. And so that's kind of what happened. So I'm kind of recovering. August, I'm going to say this is so far the best month since then. So we are getting better. I'm seeing really good things happening for these months. And I am definitely making it to level 3, possibly level 4 by the end of this year. So that's nice to know. It's always nice to know that, what you're doing is working. So that's pretty much all in the front area. And let's get our monthly view here. So, again, I just take all of my projected bill days, I put them on their respected days of the month. I do mark my paydays again, um, just because this style of budgeting is easier for me to comprehend instead of like the whole 30 days. I just kind of look at the paydays and I say, okay, I have all of this to cover before this. So this would have been with this payday here back in July. Um, this one here, like, okay, if I got paid on the 11th, I need to cover from the 11th. So like this whole big chunk, these 2 weeks here, this needs to cover all of that. Sorry, guys. We're working with heavy chemicals this week at work, so my voice may be a little strained. But so yeah, no, just knowing when these bills fall in the month has really helped me to keep up with them because you could see, like, I got a lot. It's a lot to juggle. So knowing the exact day, kind of having an idea of like what's going to be owed, really does help. This is what I call the tornado week because this is when the most of it comes out. So even if I have a little bit extra left over right around here, I'm not thinking, oh, I got extra money to spend. I'm thinking that's extra money that I could at least cover like up to here with. And then that way, this paycheck isn't getting completely depleted. So I can make it to this day. And okay, what else do we got here? We got all the extras. You notice that they're different colors. So the greens are the mandatories. I don't really have a choice with them. That is what they are. That is when they're due. The yellows here, these are optional. So I always split those in different colors. I used to just mark them all the same, but I don't know, I guess it created anxiety or something for me. And so I did start splitting the colors on them. And this way I know these are choices. These are choices that I'm making to better my budget, to lower my debt, to put savings away. So I do have my $5 a day goal. 31 days times 5, that's 155. So that's why we have the 75 and the 80. I just take those out for each pay. It's just easier for me mathematically. When I did start, it was literally $5, $5, $5, $5. That was just to get me into the routine of knowing that I was saving money, but also at the same time, it kind of helped me learn to not need that money out of every check. So now I'm just used to it. I mean, it's been like 5 years since I've been doing this, so I just take it out of each pay. And I know I've passed 1,000 mark for this year. I almost want to say I got 1,060 put back in that daily savings account. I feel like it's 1,800 at the end of the year. A little, yeah, 1,825, I believe. So, I mean, that's one of the fastest ways I've been able to put money into my savings. And for some reason, it's easy because, you could put $5 in a drive through and you don't think nothing of it. So just put $5 in your savings account. It sounds difficult, I know, but it really is the easiest way you could put money back for yourself without feeling the burn. If $5 seems a little too much to you, just try $1. Just try to get in the habit of putting back a little bit each day for yourself. Um, I'm still continuing the whole no cards challenge, okay? Um, like I said, when I first started, January, amazing, okay? February, amazing. Never thought I would be able to make it that long without using a credit card, right? Because I'm a heavy credit card user, guys. That's how I have so many of these things. And I want to stop that habit. March, I came pretty close to going 90 days. um, yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't, in one way, I want to blame it on the taxes, but it can't be the taxes because I did have those funds. I, I really wish I could explain what happened, but I can't. Maybe in time I will. But something just happened, and I really think it was these extras, because, like I said, like I was getting into the whole momentum of like, okay, I'm paying this account off, I'm paying that account off, I'm paying this account off, and I think I got a little too ballsy with it. And I think that's whenever I learned like 50 is the max. Even though I want to put on more, mentally, my wallet says no. So I kind of like overspent on the paying the accounts off, which led me to needing the credit card as a crutch. So that's the best explanation I could give for this. So that was a learning experience for myself. Um, because you could see I did have to kind of skip one because I did kind of overpay, which broke my streak. I'm still a little upset over that, but like I said, it's kind of like a fitness journey at the same time where you can't really beat yourself up for it of being like, oh, you used it, so now we're just gonna blast through it now, which is kind of what I did with April. Um, it's just a willpower thing. You just gotta realize, like, no, don't use it. So I got a little bit better in May. Um, June, of course, we completely do a 180 with our shifts. Uh, June, July, and August are very stressful. So, um, yeah. Yeah, so this is how I'm knowing that stress and emotions, these affect how I spend. But you can see I definitely went back to the 50 on the extra payments. So I'm still at least able to make all of them. And that's leading us into August. I did make one change with this because I wanted to see if it would have an effect. And that would be having what I call a no spend challenge. Granted, I am reducing like any unnecessary expenses, but at the same time, it's not like you can't spend at all. If it is something that I know that I'm absolutely going to need, I am going to buy it. I'm not going to deny myself like spending anything. It's just no frivolous spending. And I really do count the no spend challenge as a no card challenge. So, if you want to do a no spend challenge for yourself, you can. I'm trying to think of a word to use it. You could tweak it the way that works for you to help keep up with the momentum. So I did really good for this first week. If you remember, my car died Friday. And um, just because I didn't know what my bank balance was at the time, and we really just needed to get that part in. It was stressful. So I did use a credit card to take care of that. Fortunately, it was only 80. It wasn't like an insane amount. It wasn't like 1,500. So I got very fortunate there. But if it wasn't for the car breaking down that day, I wouldn't have done that. So that's a little comforting for me to know in my mind. Okay, so we're making it to the daily pages, guys. Again, I wish I was a little more enthusiastic. I'm sorry if I sound flat and tired today, but, like I said, it's just, oh God, the work is getting to me, but we're nearing the end, and I should be going back to those normal shifts, so hopefully that will help. But, yeah, since this is a daily planner, I do have daily pages. And pretty much what I do is this would be like my logging area. So this is how much I have in the bank and the transactions. These are my friendly reminders of if I have bills or anything due. I do use the schedule part to let myself know like when I'm at the store or if I'm working on my budget. This has really helped me know like danger times of when to go to the store and that because I do tend to spend more during certain times of the day. Or who I'm with, that's another one. This was a Bill shopping trip, so I did actually do really good since I was shopping with Bill because he is a shopper. So again, I kept telling myself like I'm not using not using the card. Don't you do it? Um, so yeah, again, it's a little bit of a willpower type thing of how bad do you want this debt to go away. Then again, you gotta balance it out with how much money you actually have to pay that debt away. Because if you don't have any funds, you don't have anything to put extra towards it. Okay, so it's not 100% willpower. It's not 100% financial. It's a mixture of the two. And of course, I do try to add like a fun quote to kind of reflect on like what happened during the day up here. So, yeah, Sunday I think I left Jins off. It was the last of the afterpays. And I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I love Afterpay. I do. You get to, you get your purchase. It's mailed to you. You get to enjoy it. You get those 4 easy installments. But it is also really easy to forget that, you purchased something like 3 months ago. So I was happy to see that this was the final Afterpay payment. Um, I'm gonna try my best not to do any more of these things because they are really addictive. But I mean, we do. We got the thing handled. I got the extra Discover payment on, and I did owe Bill a case of beer for fixing all my car. So, like I said, like I got very fortunate when my car died because it really only came out to 80 for the parts, 20 for Bill, so that's 100. Um, I know many of yous, if you would have went to the shop, it probably would have been like 500. So I got very, very fortunate with that. Let's see here. We're leading into Monday, so again, this is continuing what I call my no spend. It's really a don't spend on stuff you don't need, and do not use that card. So I do have a friendly reminder of no cards along with my little tracker. So again, I'm explaining to myself like why I'm continuing to break this thing down into weeks. For some reason, explaining this stuff to myself does help myself understand. I'm hoping I'm not the only one that gotta have those conversations, but it's just like a friendly reminder. So yes, it's in there. Um, I did sell a Vita Authority, so that kind of helps. With that, so it kind of recuperated that. So, it was $31 I didn't really have, but hey, she bought one, so I got 43 for it. Yeah, so I mean, that's really how exciting Monday was, right? Tuesday, um, this, like I told you guys, it's getting bad. I'm getting really tired, frustrated, irritated with this whole summer shift thing, but it's coming to an end. I really just wanted a frappuccino, okay? I needed something sweet. I needed a treat, man, okay? But I had a gift card I remembered, so I went ahead and used that, so I got my frappy for free, and I really wanted to go to McDonald's too, because I mean, like I told you guys, I just want to stress eat. But it was like, okay, I got the Starbucks card. I don't have a McDonald's card, and it was like, just hold out. You can eat anything you want when you get home. We're close because you could see, like, I only had 4 more hours to go at that time. We are so close. I'm just gonna eat a bag of Cheetos. Because I have it, and we're just gonna get through it. So that's how I got through Tuesday. Wednesday, um, it would have been a complete no spend day again because you could see I used my rewards at that point, so I got that again free. But Bert, my cat, he loves his little green nummies. He's addicted to them, and I can't deny him. So I did make a quick trip to Giant Eagle. Later on in the evening, I did get him his nummies, but I mean, to me, that is a necessity, so I still count it as a no spend because I'm not denying him his nummies because I'm the idiot that got into debt. I'm not punishing Mr. Burt. Okay, so then, we get into Thursday again, work, 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 work. I did remember, I'm not quite sure how this happened or why it happened, but T-Mobile and car insurance were on the Discover card, and this is, like, I don't know why it took me this long to realize this, but again, it's a learning experience that you're going through. But for some reason, I thought, okay, like, yeah, they're on the Discover card, but I'm going to pay it that day anyways. So to me, it wasn't really adding on to the card. Because if you remember, Discover is the card of focus that I'm trying to pay down. It turns out that yes, there is a difference in how they handle payments on a promotion versus a standard APR. And I mean, this is one of the reasons really why I'm choosing not to touch that card at all since I'm trying to pay it off. Um, like, I noticed that the balance of, like, the 0% is going down slowly as I'm making these extra payments. But what's happening is the charges that I was making back in like May, June, and July, even though I was paying them off that day, they they were accumulating under what's called the standard rate. So that one does get interest. So even though I thought, like, hey, I'm paying this off, what I was paying off is going on that promotion rate where the standard balances, it was starting to accumulate onto that. And of course, that sucker's on an APR. And it was just adding interest on interest on interest because they're not going to pay down that standard rate until that promotion is paid off. And once I realized that, I was like, yeah, we are definitely not even touching this because that's ridiculous. Because it kind of gets you back into that effect of no matter what you put on this card, the balance is not going to go down. It's just not with an APR of that rate. So, I mean, like I said, since I've stopped using it, and I mean, it's really only 10 days in at this point, it has drastically helped my my extra payments take down that promotion rate a lot faster. So I know that it's a little weird because I know that all of my amounts were going towards the promotion anyways, but I'm not accumulating more on the interest rate that they're giving me per month because I'm not putting anything else on it, even though I was paying it off. I hope that makes sense. I thought that they took it off of the standard. My bad. I completely misunderstood that. So, yeah, again, we quickly moved those. We are not doing that again because that's, I don't know, it's kind of like putting salt on a wound at that point in time. So, we, like I said, we're not doing that. So those are moved over, but since they're the only things going on to the city card, which I know some of you are like, Sally, why are you still putting it on a card? Um, I'm putting them on a card because they're automatic payments, and I don't want my account, like my actual bank account, to go into a deficit if I do somehow, additionally subtraction wise, mathematically mess up. I don't trust my math skills that much. So it is going onto a city card as an automatic payment. One, so I don't miss these because these are very important. And two, so it doesn't deplete my funds. But like I said, I mean, they are paid that day. It's just an anxiety thing. So since they're the only things on that card and I do pay them immediately that day, I have not gotten any interest added on to them. It's just that is the most important thing is if you are going to do that, you pay it. You pay it immediately. You don't sit and wait for the end of the month. You pay that thing as soon as it goes on there. If you can't do that, you really shouldn't be using it in the first place. Again, I'm guilty of that myself. March, April, May, June. Just don't do it. It just adds on to this mess, and then you'll have as many as I do. Okay, I again use my gift card. So, like I said, I mean, I'm kicking butt this week. That weekly thinking of the not using the cards is really helping. It's helping me focus and hone in on like a little mini goal instead of thinking of all of the 30 days. Oh, okay, now we're gonna learn why Sally's exhausted. So, the whole point of us flipping our shifts is we're supposed to do 4 10s. Hence we get Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays off. But of course, my type of work, it's either it gets done or you're screwed. So of course we didn't accomplish our goals again this week. So it was overtime again. Um, so yeah, we're doing an all work and no play. But normally that's a bad thing. Mentally, it's a bad thing. But financially, it's been great. Because all work and no play helps me save money every day. Because I'm too freaking tired to spend, guys, okay? Like, we had split shifts, so I had to be at work at 7, we got off at 11, had to be back at 5, got done at 7. It's ridiculous. We're waxing floors. Um, it gives you trippy dreams, okay? Like I came home, I know I fell asleep sometime in here, but it wasn't asleep because I fell asleep with my eyes open. My cat was punching me in the face the whole time, and at the same time, I was reading a book. I remember I was reading, but I had to keep rereading because I couldn't remember what I read with my cat punching me in my face. So that's what I did during these hours. I love it. And yeah, so I mean, in one way, it is really helping me with my extra spending because I can't even go and online shop because I'm not really aware of what I'm doing. Um, and that Burger King is when I realized, like, dude, you didn't eat yet. So yeah, Burger King was a necessity, but you know, kept it under $5. Shoved a burger in my face and went to bed. Just to do it all over again, you know. Um, and yes, I did end up spending a wee bit more. I did have to get gasoline. I'm very glad that my sleep deprived brain knew I needed gasoline. If it wasn't for that receipt, guys, I have no memory of going to get gasoline. But I did. My fuel tank tells me and my receipt tells me, so at least I got gas. Um, I do remember going grocery shopping. That was later on. This I did spend probably twice as much as I normally would have. One is because I was freaking hungry too. I was tired and I was stressed. But knowing that I couldn't use the credit card and I had to use my bank card, it did help stop that because it probably would have been $100. So in one way, that's more than what I should have spent. And at the same time, knowing that I had the debit card instead of the credit card did stop me. And yes, I did have to buy beer for Ray because yesterday was sticker making day, and apparently I was so out of my mind that I couldn't even operate my Cricut. So Ray made the Etsy orders yesterday. Which was cool. I mean, that was a fun family experience. So, yeah, that's Saturday. That's Saturday in my budget. The ink blew up on me, so that pen went in the trash. Uh, I'm so glad I get to share this with you guys. And that leads us to today. Today is Sunday. I have no idea what the quote of the day is going to be. Um, for the most part, it's going to be a no card day, but the day's not over, so I'm not putting it in there. I did get to add 2 more blocks to that detritus up there, because, I had the extra payment, and of course I get my weekly, not really weekly, I wait until it adds up, but, it is my cleaning funds for Ray. Because he's messy. And, yeah, so I had enough to rack up there. So, like I told you, once you get to, oh God, I'm trying to keep my train of thought, guys. Once you start getting closer to passing up these levels, you do get a little motivated to throw that on there. So that is my cleaning funds right there. So I got to buy a block, so to say. And that's really where we're going to leave off, guys, because again, I'm starting to get sleepy. I'm so sorry. September's going to be a lot better. I'm going to be able to think when I'm doing these. But yeah, that's going to be our budget review for today and for this week. We got big things coming up this week. I got another extra payment. I got the actual Discover payment. Probably going to buy another spare block. So we're getting there. We might end up on level 2 by the next review. So I hope that these reviews help. I hope you find them entertaining, something, anything. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching them, guys. I do appreciate it. It's just, budget journeys are very difficult. Definitely whenever you're learning what to do, what works best for you. And I mean, the best advice I could give is just keep tweaking it, keep going. And, it is gonna come down. It's just gonna take a while. So I'm going to close out with that. And just again, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And please remember to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more budget reviews.